Phasmophobia has come out with the Quality of Life Part 2 preview, and we are going to look over all of it. What is coming up? We know that there were 2 quality of life updates coming, one that was coming in July and one in August. We now have a date for the one in August, and we now have all the information as to what's going to be included, or for the most part, what's going to be included. So let's go over it. Welcome back, Ghost Hunters. Thank you, everyone, for the warm reception for our first Quality of Life update last month, and we're glad to see many of you enjoying Phasmophobia once more. Today, as promised, we're sharing details on the upcoming second Quality of Life update for Phasmophobia. We'll be releasing this update across all platforms on August 25th of 2026. So literally this month, we are getting the second Quality of Life update, okay? August 25th. Mark the calendars. Exact release times are still to be confirmed, so keep an eye on our channels for official confirmation of when the update is live. Let's break down a couple of the features we're excited about before sharing the full list. The new restricted options. I think this is going to be probably one of the favorited things among this update that we're getting. For a long while, we've seen folks requesting smaller versions of our larger maps in the vein of Sunny Meadows Restricted. With this update, we're excited to introduce restricted versions for Prison, Brownstone High School, and Point Hope. So they've moved the truck closer, I believe, on High School and Prison. So that's what this is to show. The truck being closer, so it's not as far of a walk. But Point Hope, I'm kind of surprised that it only went to the wine room. That's a lot less rooms than I was expecting, dude. Way less. So another thing to think about too is that with these restricted versions of these maps, we're also going to have changed cursed possession locations for the restricted versions. Because it's different when you have something like Sunny Meadows, because all the cursed possessions are literally in that chapel where it's available on every version. But these, you've got stuff like the music box and the monkey paw and the Ouija board. Like like all of those are above a certain point. So they now have to be moved lower. So we need to figure out where the restricted versions are going to be. Is that literally blocking the front? Literally forcing you to go to the right. Like you can't go here, you can't go here, it's over here. Meaning that there's probably something in the hallway blocking you, like lockers or something like that. As with Sunny Meadows, these map variants are designed for quicker games and locations that we know players enjoy, but sometimes don't want to be investigating a larger area, mainly because of time. In the case of Point Hope Restricted, which will be classed as small, Ghost Hunters will be able to access up to the dining room, while Prison and Brownstone High School will have multiple variants, classed as small and medium respectively, which will be randomly assigned upon loading into the contract. Just like Sunny Meadows Restricted, you don't know which one you're going to get. You load in, it could be either one. The Point Hope Restricted, it sounds like it's pretty set in stone. You get up into the dining room and like the wine, and that's it. You can't go any further. Brownstone High School in particular will have a total of 4 map variants following the update. With such a big map, we believed it was appropriate to give a variety of variations, giving Ghost Hunters a sense of mystery when loading up. Outside each restricted version of the map, a small piece of environmental decor will signify which variant of the map you're on. Journal and evidence changes. We made a handful of changes and improvements to evidence collection with the first Quality of Life update, and we're doing the same with the second. As with all of our updates, we'll be looking for and reading through player feedback on these changes, so please do let us know your thoughts once you've spent some time with them. Since our Chronicle update last year, we've been working on finessing the unique duplicate system. A change we're introducing with this next update, there will now be a visual indicator to show that a piece of media a ghost hunter captured is a duplicate without the need to check the journal. To detect a duplicate, keep an eye out for the following indicators. Tier 1, the photo camera will display a yellow LED. Tier 2 and 3, the photo cameras and all tiers of video cameras will display a faded overlay rather than the usual bold white text. The Tier 1 sound recorder will lower the brightness of the volume indicators, and the Tier 2 and 3 recorders will display faded sound waves. So when it shows up like this and it is faded and it is not bright and clear, that means you already have it and you don't need to go to your freaking journal to check and see if it's a duplicate or not. So we'll save you from having to do deletes, which would be obviously silly. Here you've got the motion sensor faded. This one you've got, I don't know, this one's a little harder to tell, I think, because I look at this and I'm not thinking like, oh, that's different than normal. I never use this sound recorder. I never use the tier 2. Always tier 3 or tier 1. So we'll see what happens. Another important addition in this update is being able to see other ghost hunters' evidence and ghost selections in the journal. This means there'll be no more need to double check with other players which pieces of evidence you've captured and see others' opinions on which ghost the group is dealing with. And of course, making sure everyone has the same selection when they're leaving in the truck. That's a cool one that I had no idea that they were going to be doing. We will now be able to see, based on color, whatever the player is, what things they've crossed off, what things they've circled. Now you don't have to like compare notes without like looking at each other's papers. That's super freaking cool. I like that a lot because it's not that intrusive. It's really not. Just faded color versions of whatever one they are. Super freaking cool. I like it. Elsewhere, we've replaced the keys section in the journal with the items we found section. Appearing in the order they are found, this will display collected items such as keys, the bone, the bone, and seasonal event collectibles. On the same page, a gender symbol will now be displayed alongside the ghost name, allowing for easier understanding of male and female names and ghost types, especially for non-English speaking players. So sometimes we get ghosties that we're not 100% if it's a male or a female ghost because the name can kind of go both ways. It's hard to say. Now you will know 100% if it's a male or female ghost because you will have the male or the female symbol right there. Jan, right. Some people look at that and think Jan. Fair freaking enough. But now you will know that that's a male ghost because of the symbol. And now we will have a bone indicator in the journal. Now, it said that the items found here, the list will be based on when you find them. So if you find the bone first and then the key, it'll just be in that order. VR improvements. With this quality of life update, we're completely replacing the VR character rig across all platforms. This means more responsive movement in line with your own body, improved accuracy of the character model to match players' arm length, as well as the overall improvement to the visual of the character model when playing with VR users. We're also addressing several regularly reported issues from VR players, which we'll detail in the full patch notes at release. As with other areas of Phasmophobia, please do let us know if any of you, let us know any of your feedback you have from your time in VR or any issues you've encountered. Gameplay improvements. Finally, for today, we've just wanted to dive into some of the changes coming to the gameplay of Phasmophobia. Firstly, we'll be implementing the ability to select the ghost type for any custom difficulty investigation. You are going to have the ability to pick what ghost you're going up against. You'll find this in the ghost settings when setting up your game, as you can see in the screenshot below. So obviously this gives you a 0 multiplier. This gives you a 0 multiplier for the game. You're not going to make any money, but it does allow you to mess with the ghost and figure things out and test it. Custom difficulties with a 0 multiplier will no longer contribute towards any progress, such as achievements and leaflets. When you put it, that means you can't do, and you can't get any achievement and you can't get any progress by putting it on Friendly Ghost. Another change with this update is a change to character appearance upon death. As seen below, the dead body will now be seen with a grayer skin as well as misty eyes. Dead players will also appear this way to others while dead. In addition to this change, a player's voice chat will now be cut off as soon as they die, the moment their neck is snapped during the death animation. That is a pretty cool addition. Instead of just seeing what looks to be somebody passed out, very like visibly seeing like, oh, this player's now dead. Wonder what will look like when you bring them back to life. Great question. I think there should be some sort of indicator that you were brought back to life. Like, I don't know if like your skin is still like a pale skin, like you got scared to death kind of thing. I don't know. Dead men tell no tales. So this will be cool to see in game. We'll definitely be testing this one for sure. Below, you'll find a list of all the new features coming for this quality of life update, as well as the changes section. At the release of the update, as mentioned, we'll share the full patch notes along with the list of fixes for known bugs and issues. We look forward to sharing this update with you on August 25th of 2026. This is basically a summary of what is happening. We've already seen some of this. I just want to make sure we don't miss anything, especially with what we just saw down there. Added a new legacy badge section to the customization shop to allow you to edit your badge at any time, which is neat. Added unique video evidence text for shower and fuse box. That's more media. Added an icon to show whether a ghost name is male or female. I am excited for August 25th to arrive. So there's a very good possibility that on August 24th, I will be streaming this a day early. So just a heads up, keep your eyes peeled. I'll probably show this one day.